The prince who changed the monarchy. Prince William has done what no future king has dared attempt in more than 70 years. In a stunning act of open defiance, he refused to attend Prime Minister Starmer's Commonwealth Day reception at Lancaster House, a deliberate boycott that sent shockwaves through Britain's political establishment. Kensington Palace later confirmed it was no scheduling mishap, but a conscious protest against what William saw as the government's effort to erode the monarchy's constitutional independence. Starmer's Labour government had proposed cutting royal funding and giving Parliament veto power over royal appointments, reforms they called modernisation, but which the palace viewed as an assault on the crown itself. When news broke that William had withdrawn just 15 minutes before the event, Downing Street was humiliated on the world stage. Sources revealed the prince refused to share a platform with a government dismantling the monarchy's independence, shattering decades of royal neutrality. The fallout was immediate. Foreign dignitaries were bewildered, ministers blindsided, and the global press transfixed. By evening, Kensington Palace issued a statement invoking the need to defend constitutional foundations and uphold royal independence, a message that ignited a political firestorm. Legal experts warned it amounted to accusing the government of undermining the monarchy itself. Public reaction overwhelmingly favoured William. Polls showed nearly 70% of Britons backed him. Reports soon surfaced that Princess Anne and the Duchess of Edinburgh shared his stance, hinting at a wider royal boycott. Without royal participation, Britain's diplomatic engine, state visits, honour ceremonies, and international goodwill began to stall. By the next morning, the nation was in turmoil. Headlines blazed: the prince who said no. Crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace, divided between monarchists cheering William and reformists demanding he stay out of politics. Inside Whitehall, frantic overnight meetings exposed a split cabinet, some urging reconciliation, others accusing the monarchy of overreach. Starmer was furious yet cautious. He knew a public fight with the most popular royal in generations could destroy his government. Kensington Palace stayed silent, letting public sympathy swell. Across the Commonwealth, reactions rippled. Canada voiced concern over politicisation of the crown, while Australia's opposition praised William's courage. Markets trembled, and whispers in Parliament warned of the biggest constitutional showdown since Edward VIII's abdication. Then came Princess Anne's declaration. Sometimes principles matter more than protocol. The press instantly dubbed the United Front the Windsor Bloc. King Charles summoned both Starmer and William for private audiences to calm the crisis, though speculation grew that he privately agreed with his son. By Tuesday, Parliament was bracing for its most consequential debate in decades. Outside, protests raged, monarchists waving stand with William banners, reformists chanting power to the people. Starmer argued that his reforms were democratic modernization. Opposition leader Rishi Sunak called them constitutional vandalism. Then history was made. Speaker Lindsay Hoyle interrupted proceedings to read a written statement from Prince William himself. The monarchy endures by serving, not ruling, by standing apart from political tides. It cannot, and will not, become an instrument of temporary power. The House fell silent. Global media exploded under the hashtag The Crown Speaks. The statement sent panic through Labour ranks. MPs begged Starmer to retreat, fearing electoral suicide, while the opposition pushed for a no-confidence vote. That night, King Charles issued a message urging unity and respect, widely interpreted as tacit support for his son. Public support for the monarchy surged past 70%. Commentators hailed William as the moral voice of a drifting system. By Wednesday, Starmer's leadership was collapsing. Cabinet resignations mounted, and talk of a snap election filled the corridors of Westminster. Meanwhile, William made a surprise appearance in Cardiff, declaring, "This nation's greatness rests on the balance between those who lead and those who serve. When either forgets their place, we all falter. I will not let that balance be lost." It was the speech that transformed him from royal figurehead to constitutional defender. By Thursday, The government had fallen. Starmer, defeated and rain-soaked, resigned outside Number 10. For the first time in living memory, a royal act, not war, not an election, had brought down a sitting prime minister. Britain was stunned. Scholars filled the airwaves debating whether William had heroically defended principle or dangerously overstepped royal bounds. Streets outside Buckingham Palace turned celebratory, flags waved, hymns sung, and signs read for crown and country. Yet critics warned that William's boldness had opened a door that might never close again. Behind the scenes, King Charles worked tirelessly to restore equilibrium. Consulting advisors and Commonwealth leaders, the palace emphasized continuity and unity, but public opinion was clear. William had become the face of a national reckoning. His approval ratings eclipsed even Queen Elizabeth's during her Platinum Jubilee. Newspapers hailed him as the People's Prince and the reluctant revolutionary. The Labour Party, humiliated, fractured into chaos. Conservatives seized the moment. Soon it called for a government that restores trust, tradition, and balance. Within days, Parliament was dissolved and a snap general election announced. For the first time in decades, the monarchy dominated political debate. Polls showed a dramatic Conservative lead. The public craving stability and rejecting Labour's perceived attack on national identity. Throughout it all, William and Catherine remained calm, focusing on engagements promoting unity and service. His silence spoke volumes. Every handshake, every school visit, every speech on balance and duty reinforced his moral authority. Across the Commonwealth, admiration grew. Polls in Canada, Australia, and the Caribbean showed rising support for retaining the monarchy, not out of nostalgia, but respect for William's integrity. When election results arrived, they reshaped Britain. The Conservatives won a commanding majority, carried by a narrative of defending tradition and stability. Rishi Sunak returned to Downing Street, pledging in his victory speech to restore unity between Crown and Parliament. Behind closed doors, discussions with King Charles birthed the Restoration Charter, reaffirming the boundaries between Crown and Parliament while guaranteeing royal independence and stable funding. Starmer resigned as Labour leader, his party in ruins. Even his critics admitted the prince's defiance had changed history. Public euphoria followed. The press hailed the Crown's finest hour. Analysts praised William's restraint, the man who risked everything to defend principle, yet never sought power. His image filled front pages beside headlines like "The future of the Crown begins now." In the weeks that followed, subtle shifts emerged within the palace. King Charles began delegating more to William, preparing for a seamless transition. The monarchy, once defensive, became proactive, modernizing quietly through transparency, service, and renewed purpose. Internationally, Britain's recovery was praised as a masterclass in constitutional resilience. Tourism soared, the pound stabilized, and the Commonwealth regained unity. Then Buckingham Palace surprised even royal watchers, announcing the Civic Renewal Forum, a joint royal government council chaired by William to strengthen public trust in national institutions. The move was met with overwhelming approval. By year's end, Britain was calmer, steadier, and prouder. The constitutional crisis that once threatened to unravel the nation had instead renewed it. The monarchy stood stronger, the government wiser, and the people more united. William had done what few thought possible, not by ruling, but by reminding Britain what it stands for. As one commentator wrote, he broke the rules to save the institution, and in doing so, may have secured the monarchy's future for another 100 years. By years close, the heir to the throne was no longer seen as a ceremonial figure, but as a statesman in waiting, neither king nor politician, but something new, a moral compass for the modern age.